Hello and welcome to my channel Health and Wellness with Emma Mental. It is Monday afternoon in South Africa where I am, and I'm just about 24 hours into my fast for this week. I like to do a longer fast during the sort of significant markers throughout the calendar year. So with this week being building up to a full moon, and then the solstice, which is, I think, around the 21st or 22nd of June. I used the theme which I discussed in my last video on here a few days ago to talk around the different aspects that informs this build up to the full moon and the solstice. Thank you for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel and you'll get the warning when I've posted new videos. Thank you for those of you who are liking and commenting on the content that I am sharing. So if you haven't yet watched my last video about the astrology and the different themes for this week, please do so, because then this will make a lot more sense. But with the one theme around home and that sort of beauty around the home and feeling nurtured, I have really tried so hard in the last week or so to tidy and organize, especially my dining room table. So this post is for you if you are one of those people who have a great goal in mind when it comes to decluttering or organizing things in the home, and then you just can't seem to get past that feeling of everything's a mess, and the area where there's a mess just seems to get bigger and bigger. So this is a very honest share. So from a fasting point of view, being nearly 24 hours in, I've just had a look at my blood glucose and I was really pleased. I just want to see, 4.1, which is lower than what I thought it would be. But I've been really eating clean for the last few days. I usually try and make sure that I have my protein. And what has been surprising for me with this fast is that I feel I'm already in ketosis. Usually I only experience these symptoms of the reduced hunger and the taste in my mouth after 36 hours, but I've been aware of this for the last few hours, and so when I checked my blood glucose, it might still go up again as it uses up any of the stores. But I thought, this is an interesting theme for me, being only going towards the 24-hour mark to feel that I'm already in ketosis. Yesterday I ate very carefully. I had protein, I had enough fat. So that'll be interesting to see how this fast moves throughout the next few days. But to get back to the organizing, or the struggle with organizing, I felt really motivated by this theme and the fact that I'm fasting, and we've just had a long weekend here in South Africa. So today was a public holiday, and I thought, I've got this extra day now, just get to the dining room table and just clear out whatever needs to be cleared out, organize. So I've already done quite a bit of reorganization of papers and files and folders, and throwing away files and pieces of paper that I no longer need. But somehow when it feels almost like the bulk of the work has been done, the last bit really takes me very long. I struggle to just stick to that. So I've been out in the garden, I've been planting and watering the plants, and I got into a little bit of creative stuff earlier on today, And I keep on being so distracted by other things, which is frustrating for me because it means that my table is not tidy yet. And what this usually creates for me is a sense of chaos. It's like you don't have the discipline. You can't stick to the task. You keep on being distracted. You feel disorganized. And if my home feels disorganized, then my mind feels disorganized. And I almost then feel how it impacts on my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. So I watched something on YouTube yesterday and then again earlier today, where this lady, and I can't remember her name, but I will tag her in the comments, uses chimes as like a nervous system regulation tool, the soothing tool. And I have got a Koshi chime. I will use it just now to show you what it's like, but it looks like this. And there's 4 different ones. There's earth, air, water, and fire, and they each have a different sound. And I also took out one of my, well, it's usually on my shelf, one of my bowls. I've also used that in a previous post, and I thought I'm just going to use sound today as soothing, especially when I'm wanting to get distracted, and especially for me with day 1 of my fasting, especially as I get to the 24-hour mark, usually feels my most difficult. If I can get past this 24-hour mark, and all fasts are different, but usually for me, getting to 24 hours and sort of through that 24-hour mark of my fast is usually harder than the days after. But having gone into ketosis a little bit sooner than what I normally do, it'll be interesting to see how this fast is going to be different. So for those of you who need some inspiration for the week, just finish one task, even if it's one drawer or one box or one file. Don't look at everything else that you haven't done. Just celebrate those small wins. I also say this to my fasting participants: celebrate the small wins. Don't look at the things you haven't been able to do. Look at the things that you have managed to change. And yeah, this last month for me has been a little bit of a challenge because I was getting quite frustrated with the weight that didn't shift past a certain point. I felt like I'd reached this sort of set point that was very tricky to move past. And so I consulted with a functional medicine practitioner, and we looked at my hormones, and he's prescribed something which I've been using, and it should have made it better. Something should have improved, but of course, I always think, me being me, it creates the opposite. So we've decided to change the hormonal cream, and it's a bioidentical combination preparation. And they were meant to give me a different tube with a different strength, and I still felt the same, sore breasts, and just like I've gained a lot of weight. I feel a lot of water, a lot of water, like almost like before pregnancy. So of course my body is adapting to this change, and I was giving it like a month or so, but I then compared the creams again, and I realized that I was still on the same cream. They had by mistake dispensed the wrong one. And so on Friday I went to go and collect the right hormone cream. So let's hope that now, as my body adapts after this fast, and with the blood glucose really being already quite low, well, not too low, but lower than what I anticipated it to be, that the water will shift easily. So sometimes we've just got to say one step at a time. I was getting very frustrated, very disheartened, but I've got to just look at the end goal, where I'm trying to get to, that I'm rebalancing things. I'm 57, and I really needed to tweak something here and there. Nothing was dramatically out of sorts, but it could definitely be more optimal. And that's what I'm working towards, because my fasting over the last 2.5 years, 2.5 years, has really addressed my metabolic health from a fasting insulin point of view. Now I want to tweak the rest. So it's a little bit of a slow process, and if you know what it's like to want the rest of the weight to shift and then it goes in the opposite direction, it just feels like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna give up. Anyway, this week is all about leaning into this discomfort, leaning into the frustration with what I haven't done and completed, and just thanking my body, giving myself a lot of grace, and then tuning into really all the kind of soothing tools. So I thought I'll do a card, the Divine Abundance by Tosha Silver, for the viewers, to get a message for everybody watching, and for myself, as a marker sort of going towards the solstice, a message for my fast, or for those of you trying to clean up perhaps this week after the weekend from sugar and who knows what other kind of bad habits, something that you want to stop and give up leading up to the solstice, something that's not serving you, something that's perhaps harmful to your body and that is causing inflammation and discomfort. So I'm shuffling the cards, and I'm thinking while I'm shuffling, oh, there's a card that jumped out. What is it that we need to know about this process? A supportive message leading up to the solstice. And the message is, it's a beautiful card, detachment. Detachment. And the card says, with detachment, you finally feel whole inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Isn't that just such a perfect card? Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. So I feel that this card has jumped out for a very specific reason, and sort of confirming what I was saying, that the particular desire that I've had was to shift the rest of the weight, to clear the rest of the mess that's on my dining room table. And I'm so focused on that I feel like, I can't really pay attention to much else. But when you detach, when you have your intention, and when you can almost visualize that future self without the current challenge that you are experiencing, and you infuse that with your energy, you give your energy to that future self where this particular challenge doesn't exist, that's when that fulfillment happens. So I'll show you again. So it's detachment. You can go and look up Tosha Silver's cards, and I've also got some of her books. It's such beautiful words that she uses. So detachment for me is detaching from what I feel should have happened and should be happening, and just really tuning in to my body this week, to my hopes, to my dreams, to how I would feel. What would the experience feel like if all those things were already in place without the challenges? So I hope you find that helpful. Let me know in the comments where you are getting stuck, what you'd like to know more about, and what your theme is for this particular solstice. And I thought, just to end this clip with, I will just let you listen for a few minutes to some of these sounds. The Koshi Chime looks like that. And I'll sit back. That's the Koshi Chime Earth. And then I'm just going to make 3 sounds, 3 chimes with my bowl. And you can just close your eyes perhaps and just take a few deep breaths in and out, just exhaling all the heaviness. And of course, as I say this, there's helicopters and all kinds of things, but let's just imagine this without those outside challenges. So this is just for the exhale. Sometimes it can be as simple as a sound like this, to just feel soothed and supported. So today I've used these sounds a lot, just also because it feels beautiful. It feels like it harmonizes my home. So you can go and find a sound perhaps that you have got around that you can use to create that sense of beautiful harmony and stillness. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day or your evening, wherever you may be in this world, and I'll check in with you again tomorrow as I progress into my fast.